Hello, my dear Teshanikos. How are you? How are you doing? Welcome everyone to your channel, Mary Tejidos. I am Mary, and it is such a great joy for me to share a new tutorial with you. Also celebrating that we are almost reaching 300,000 subscribers. And as a reason for this celebration, today I bring you the detailed step-by-step of this spectacular backpack-style bag. Look here at the stitch details. We will be making it with fantasy stitch and single crochet. It's a bag with a professional finish, very good structure, and a very good size. Also, the process is wonderful. I know you will enjoy it as much as I do. I invite you to stay with me until the end of the class, enjoy the process, and put it into practice. If so, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a sign of appreciation. This gesture may seem insignificant, but it motivates me to share a new tutorial with you every week. And if you're new to my channel, I warmly welcome you and invite you to subscribe and activate also the notification bell so that YouTube notifies you every time we upload a new tutorial video. Don't forget to share this content on all your social networks so that our community keeps growing and we can reach more people who want to learn this art. Now, let's go to the list of materials, followed by the step-by-step instructions. These are the hardware or accessories that we will be working with in today's project. And you can get them at your online store. Your supplies. In the video description, I'll leave you the link to their shopping page. I have scissors, a measuring tape, and a lighter or match. 4mm knitting needle. This will be our main needle. 3.5mm knitting needle. We'll use it to weave in ends. Stitch markers. A clasp that's 3 centimeters high by 6.5 centimeters wide. A personalized plate with the channel's name. This one is optional. 2 half-moon rings, 2 centimeters each. 2 lobster clasp rings, 2 centimeters each. 2 lobster clasps, 3 centimeters wide by 5 centimeters high. A small lobster clasp for the tassel. This one is 4 centimeters high. Let's start by making a slip knot. We take the needle with the tip facing down and slide it over the material. See how we have a little loop left on the hook. Here we tighten it. We take new yarn and slide it through the loop. And here we've made our slip knot. We're going to work on chains. Here we have a loop on the hook. We yarn over and pull through it. Loop on the hook. We yarn over and slide it through. This way, we're going to keep working the chains until we reach number 93. I've already completed the 93 chains. Please check. The chain, without stretching it, measures 62 centimeters long. At this point, if you want to make the piece longer, you should increase the chains by 2 at a time, always ending with an odd number. We made 93, but you can do 103, 105, 107, depending on how long you want the piece to be. So here we're going to start the first row now, and we're going to crochet it with single crochet stitches. What are we going to do? We turn the chain and position ourselves here where the little bumps are. We'll make a stitch under each bump until we reach the last one. We pass the hook under the bump, starting in the second one, because the first one serves as our turning chain, which means that the first stitch will be made in chain number 92. From here, under the next bump, under this one, we pass the needle under the second bump. We take the yarn. We raise it to the height of the little ear that's on the hook. Take the yarn and close the stitch. Here we've made our first single crochet. We go under the next little ridge. We raise it up, take the yarn and close it. Under the next one. Here, it's important to always raise the yarn to the same level as the one on the hook, so that the stitch, they all come out even, the same size. So here we go under the little ridge, yarn over, raise the yarn, and finish the stitch. we're going to keep working the stitches this way, one stitch under each little ridge, until we get here to the last one. I reach the last little ridge, we go under it and make the last single crochet here. We finished the first row here. Look at how the stitches look. We worked a total of 92 single crochets here. Please check. We make a turning chain. Whenever you finish a row, before starting the next one, you should make a chain stitch. That is, here you turn the piece. And I want you to pay close attention, because we're going to start the second row. And here is where the fantasy stitch begins. This stitch consists of combining two stitches, half double crochet and slip stitch. We position ourselves here where the chains are, always past the hook under the second chain. The first one will be our turning chain. So here in this second one, look, this is going to be the first stitch. We make a half double crochet in the next one, a slip stitch. Half double crochet, slip stitch. This way, we're going to combine the stitches. We yarn over and go under the second chain. We count 1 and 2, go underneath, yarn over, pull up a loop, always keeping it at the same height as the loop on the hook. See how we have 3 loops here. We yarn over again and pull through all 3. Here we have closed the stitch, and this is how our half double crochet looks. See, this is how it looks on the back. So, under the next chain, we insert the hook, yarn over, give it a little height. Here we have 2 loops left on the hook. We're going to slip the first one into the one we already had, like this. And we've made a slip stitch here. We place the yarn on the hook, and under the next chain, we'll make a half double crochet. We have 3 loops. We yarn over and pull through all of them. We have a half double crochet, a slip stitch, a half double crochet. In the next one, a slip stitch. In the next one, a half double crochet. Slip stitch, half double crochet. Let's review half double crochet. The yarn should always be organized. Try to make sure it's not tangled so your stitches come out nicely. Look, here, as you can see in the back, the yarn is stretched out. Here we reach the last 2 stitches. We make a half double crochet in the second to last stitch. And in the last stitch, a slip stitch. When you work the row with the fantasy stitch, you should always start with a half double crochet and finish with a slip stitch. We finish the second row with the fantasy stitch. We make a chain here, pull. Look at how the stitches look. Here we worked a total of 92 stitches. That will be the base for all the rows. We won't make any increases or decreases. We'll work all the rows, finishing each one with 92 stitches. Look here at how beautiful the stitch looks. We've already used this stitch in several projects here on the channel. It's a gorgeous stitch with a lovely finish. The key to getting this result is to keep the yarn well organized, so the stitch looks nice and stands out clearly. When you finish the row with the fantasy stitch, before starting the next one, always make sure you have worked the correct sequence. Half double crochet, slip stitch, half double crochet, slip stitch. Make sure you haven't worked 2 slip stitches together or 2 half double crochets together. If, when making the last stitch, it doesn't end with a slip stitch, make sure you have followed the sequence correctly. That's why I also mentioned that it's important to start the chains with an odd number at the beginning, so that when working the fantasy stitch sequence, the first half double crochet fits, and the last stitch can be a slip stitch. Now we're going to start round number 3, and here we'll be combining a sequence. Notice that we work the first round with single crochet and the second with the fantasy stitch. That means we're going to work this third round with single crochet. So we'll be alternating single crochet, fantasy stitch, single crochet, fantasy stitch. In the sequence we're going to be following as we go up, we won't be passing the hook under the entire chain anymore, but instead we'll be inserting it in the center, taking only the back loop. We insert the hook into the center of the second chain. Remember, the first one is the turning chain. Here we check. Single crochet in the center of the next one, single crochet. We go through the center of the second one. We yarn over, and we make a single crochet here. In the center of the next chain, we get here to the last stitch, go through the center of the chain, and make a single crochet. With this, we finish the third round and look at how the stitches look. Here we make a turning chain, pull the piece, and now we start round number 4. In this round, we will work fantasy stitch and pass the hook under the entire chain. When you work the fantasy stitch, you will do it under the entire chain. And when you work single crochet, you will insert the hook in the center of the chain. We make the first stitch, and this is a half double crochet. We go under the chain, yarn over, and here we close. The next one is a slip stitch. Half double crochet, slip stitch. We are going to continue the sequence until we get here to the last 2 chains. I reach the last 2 stitches. We make a half double crochet. And here, in the last slip stitch, we make a chain and turn the piece. This is how this row with fantasy stitch looks. See how you can already see it much better. Now, we're going to start row number 5, and we're going to work this one with single crochet stitches. See how we're alternating the sequence. First single crochet, then fantasy stitch. Single crochet, fantasy stitch. Now we work a single crochet, and the next one is a fantasy stitch. And like this until you reach the desired width. I finished the width of the piece. Look how the stitches turned out. Here, I did a total of 23 rows. How are you going to identify them? We position ourselves here in the first row of single crochet. Right here, where the fantasy stitches are, this is one row. Here, in between the two, you can see the single crochet, this is another row. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. If you want the piece a little wider, you keep working the rows, following the sequence until you reach the desired width. What you need to keep in mind is that the last row should end with a single crochet. You start with a single crochet and finish with a single crochet. In terms of length, so far, it measures 66.5 centimeters. In width, 19 centimeters. Now we're going to work a round of single crochet all around the piece to give it a better finish. We place ourselves here at the final stitch. We make a turning chain, and we start the first stitch right here under the last chain. Here, look, this is the last stitch. We insert the needle and make a single crochet here. In this first stitch, we're going to place a marker so we know that's where the round starts. We work a single crochet on this side, insert the needle here where the little ridge is, here where these two strands are, here where the little ridge is. We come back here under these two strands, the last stitch. We finish the stitches here with a total of 23 stitches, counting the stitch where the marker is. We are going to work single crochet on this side, and here in the first stitch, we are going to make an increase of 3 stitches. To give the corner of our piece an oval shape, we take this opportunity to hide the leftover yarn. We pass the needle under the entire chain. Here we make the first stitch. We make a chain in the air. That would be the second stitch. We pass the needle again under the chain, and there we make the third stitch. Look at it here. 1, 2, and 3. Now we pass the needle under the next chain. We always keep the height at the little loop on the hook. And here we close the stitch. We go under the next one. Look here at how the corner looks. We continue working 1 stitch under each chain until we get here to the last one. I reached the last stitch. Look, it's the last stitch on the side. Here, we're going to work an increase just like we did on the other side. We pass the needle under the chain. We make a single crochet here. Chain stitch for height. We insert the needle again into that stitch. And we finish here. The 3 stitches. Look at them here. 1, 2, and 3. Finishing here, the stitches on this side, so here counting the increase, the edge stitches, and this increase. We worked a total of 96 stitches. Please check. We are going to work 23 stitches here. We make the first one here where you see this little ridge. The next one here where these 2 strands are. Look, here you can see a little ridge, 2 strands, a ridge, 2 strands. This is where we will be making the stitches. I reached the last stitch. Pass the needle here under the little ridge. Look here where you can see it. Make the last one here. And with this, you complete 23 stitches here. Now, we're going to work the stitches on this side. We start here in the first chain, working the increase. height chain. We go through again. And we complete the third stitch here. Now we work single crochet under each chain until we get here to the last one. We've reached the last stitch here. We've already made the first increase stitch where the marker is. We pass the needle under that stitch again. And we make the second stitch here to complete the third stitch. We are going to do this one when we close the round. We cut the yarn here. We pull it out. We remove the marker. And at this point, we're going to pass the needle from back to front. We take the reserved strand and move it to the back. Look, here we're simulating a chain stitch, and this is our chain stitch in the air. Now we go through the center of the last stitch. From back to front, also under the little ridge that's here. See, it appears at the stitch's center. We take the yarn, and we bring it to the back. We arrange the chain stitch here very well, so that it's the same size as the others. And look, here we've already completed the 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to hide this strand under the stitches. We'll hide the other strands this way. I've already finished the edge with single crochet. Look at how the stitches look. And here, look at how the corners turned out. Where are the increases? Here in this part, we worked 23 stitches, not counting the increases. And here on this side, we worked 96 stitches, counting the 3 increased stitches in each corner. In length, the piece ended up being 68 centimeters. And in width, it's 20.5 centimeters. We are going to work on the sides, and here I am going to show you where to place the markers so you know what size you need to make it. So here we take the piece. You can use this one or this one for the cover. Either one is fine. So here we place the 3 increase points. 1, 2, and 3. You're going to place the marker on the third point, the one that's on the top. This one, you put a marker here. Notice that this point is part of this side. Here we will have the 23 free stitches, and here, checklist. Identify main points. Remove repetition. Condense numerical listings. Maintain clarity. Preserve speaker's perspective. Look, this is the first stitch. You can count after the marker. 23. 1 through 22. 23. The next stitch is the first stitch of the increase. Place a marker there. Since this side is the one I'm going to leave for the lid, I'm going to count from the stitch where the marker is. 26 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. In the next stitch, which is number 27, you're going to place a marker. That means I'm going to have 26 free stitches here. So, counting from here, where the marker is, count 30 stitches forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. You place a marker here. You're going to leave 10 free stitches here, counting after where the marker is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Place the marker on the next stitch. Remember that the 10 stitches should be left free. Here, counting from the stitch where the marker is, we should have 30 stitches until we get here to the first increase stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Look, this is the first increase stitch on this side. So, when working on the sides, we are going to fold our piece like this.
Okay.
Like this. This is the base, the 10 stitches, and here is the lid. It ends up looking like this. So, what are you going to do? You're going to place the markers on this side. Now we're going to work on the first side. We make a slip knot. And now we'll crochet 11 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 11th chain will be our height point, which means we will work on the base of 10 stitches. So here we turn the piece and work here where the little ridges are. Here we will make an increase in the first ridge and an increase in the last ridge. So we pass the needle underneath and make 2 stitches here. Remember that an increase means 2 stitches. Here, 2. Now, here we are going to work 8 stitches. I finished the 8 stitches here after the increase. Now, we're going to make the last increase here under the ridge. We make the first stitch here, then insert the needle again. And we make the second stitch here. We make a turning chain and finish the first round with a total of 12 stitches. We make an increase at the beginning, an increase at the end, and 8 single stitches. We turn the piece, and now we start round number 2. In this round, we won't make any increases. We're going to work 1 stitch under each chain until we complete 12 stitches. Go under the second one. Remember, the first chain is the turning chain. We make the first stitch here. Look here, we've reached the last chain. And we go underneath and make the stitch here. We make a turning chain. And we finish round number 2 with a total of 12 stitches. We turn the piece, and now we'll start round number 3. In this round, we are going to make increases. We'll do one in the first stitch and the other in the last stitch. We go under the second chain. And here we make the first stitch of the increase. We insert the needle again into that stitch. And here we make the second stitch. We work here 10 single stitches. We reach the last stitch. Look here where you can see the chain. We go underneath and make the increase here. 1, 2. We make a turning chain, and we finish here round number 3 with a total of 14 stitches. We turn the piece, From now on, we are going to work on the base of 14 stitches. We are not going to work any kind of increase. So we go under the second chain. And we make a single crochet. We work one stitch until we complete all 14. We finish the 14 stitches here, thus ending round number 4. We make a turning chain here and turn the piece. We will continue working the rows with single crochet, finishing each row with 14 stitches until we reach row number 30. I have already finished the height of this side, completing the 30 rows here, and look how it looks. Here we can notice that we started with 10 stitches, and we keep increasing until we reach 14 stitches. Look how the piece looks on this side. Here, I'll also show you how to identify them. Here, this first little ridge you see here is the first row. Here where you see the stitches is the second row. So you count the ridges, the stitches, the ridges, the stitches. Notice that the piece is divided by little grooves, and each groove contains 2 rows. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, and 30. Here at this last stitch, we cut the yarn and hide it under the stitches. The side ended up measuring 23.5 centimeters long and 11 centimeters wide. We're going to make the second side following this same process, and I already have it started here. Look how it looks. We place one in front of the other, and we can see that they are the same size. We're going to sew it using a slip stitch. We take a strand and make the stitch. We give height to this little ear. We take the side with the right side facing forward and position ourselves here at the first chain at the top. We pass the needle underneath, grab the strand, and bring it forward. We set this side aside. We take the piece. We turn. And here at this marker, we are going to start sewing. Notice that from this marker to this one, we have 30 stitches. And here we have the 10 base stitches. Here at the base, we also have 10 stitches. And we go up 30 rows. What does this mean? That we won't have any extra or missing stitches. They will line up one in front of the other. So here, we remove the marker. We pass the needle under the entire chain. Here, the yarn should be on the inside. We take the little loop here. Look, the side should be right side up. We go under the chain here. And here, we tighten this little loop. We'll hide this leftover strand later under the stitches. So here, we're going to make the stitches by passing the needle through the center of the chain, here. And on the side, we're going to take the strands that are here on the outside. This one. Here, where the little ridge is. Here. So here, we pass the needle through the center of the chain. Here we go under all of it to reinforce that first stitch. So we go here in the center of the chain. We place here the second round. Look, it's this strand. We take strand. We pass it through the side. We pass it here in the chain stitch. We give it height. Here we shouldn't tighten the stitches too much. And we slip the first little loop inside the one we already had. We go through the center of the next chain stitch. And here we place the third stitch, or the third round. Look at it here. Here is the little ridge. We go under the little ridge. Look, it's from top to bottom. We take the yarn here. We go through the side. And we go through the chain. And here we slip. We go through the center of the next one. We locate the next round. Here, look where the little ear is. It's the first one. Look at it here. We take the yarn, we go through the side, through the chain, and here we slip. We go through the center of the next chain. We go from front to back. We take the strand. We slide through the first one, we slide through the second one, and here we finish with a chain stitch. We go through the center of the next one. We place the stitch here. We take the yarn. And we slide. I reach the stitch before the marker. We pass the needle through the center of the chain. And in the little bump that's in front, we go through both. And here we slip. We remove the marker here. We pass the needle through the center of the chain, and in front we have 2 strands. We are going to go through the bottom strand. We slip. And we finish here the 30 stitches. Look how the seam turned out. Now we are going to work the 10 stitches at the base. We insert the needle in the center of the chain, and up here we are going to pick up the strand that's here, the first one. Done. We go through the center and here on the top strand. We'll make the final stitch here. I finished the 10 base stitches here. Now we're going to make the 30 stitches on this side. Here we remove the marker. We insert the needle in the center of the chain. And here on the little ridge, we go through the center of the next one. And here on the strand that's on the bottom, I got here to the point before the marker. We go through the center. And on the strand that's in front, we slide. We remove the marker here. We go through the center of the stitch. And here, in the first chain, here, we slip. We finish the seam on this side. Look how the stitches turned out. See how we didn't have any extra or missing stitches? They're all well organized, and we didn't make the slip stitches too tight. Look how they look. We're going to continue here with slip stitch. Here we'll pass the needle under the whole chain. Here. We make a turning chain. We go under the first chain. And we make a slip stitch here, under the next one. I reach the last stitch. We make a chain stitch here. We remove the marker. We take the side with the right side facing up. We pass the needle through the center of the chain stitch. And under the entire chain stitch, make sure it's the first one, from front to back. We yarn over and go through the first one, through the second one, and here we slip. Tighten it very well. We go through the center of the next chain. And here in the strand that's on the bottom part, I'm going to continue sewing all along the edge until I get here to the last marker. We're going to make the last stitch here. We insert the needle through the chain center. And under the stitch that's in front, we yarn over. We go under the stitch. In the center of the chain, and here we slip. We insert the hook in the center of the chain, and we make a slip stitch here, in the center of the next one. I'm going here. We add stitches here during the increase. We only work slip stitch. We're going to make the last slip stitch here to close the round. We go through the center of the chain, yarn over, and here we slip. We cut the yarn. We pass the needle under the first chain here on this side. We take the yarn to the back. And here we go through the center of the last chain from back to front. We take the yarn and go to the back. Here we arrange the chain very well and adjust it so it's the same size as the others. We pass the yarn down here. Now we're going to hide these yarn ends under the stitches. We're going to be placing this twist lock clasp. Here on this side, on the inside, it has some little legs. We open it a little here, place the clasp on the flap. Making sure it's centered, you can use a measuring tape to help, leaving the same measurement on both sides. Here it's nicely centered. See that both sides are 6.5 centimeters. You can use a little spatula to help insert the stitches into the clasp. We check that it's tightly secured. See that it's well attached. Now we're going to place the bottom part of the clasp. We remove the lock here. We arrange the cover very well so that it's centered. We put the lock on the back. With the pliers, we close it inward. Now we have the clasp tightened and well centered. Now let's work on the handles. To work on the handle, first we're going to leave a strand about 25 centimeters long, and here we're going to make a slip knot. And we will crochet 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Always keeping in mind the thickness of the carabiner we are going to be working with. Look, this one is about 3 centimeters. When we crochet it, it should be about 3 centimeters approximately. So we turn here at the back and work a single crochet in the second ridge. Under the next one. Under the last one. Here we complete 3 single crochets. We make a turning chain. And now we're going to work the second row. In this second row, we're going to make double single crochets. What does this mean? It means we'll be inserting the hook into the center of the chain, picking up the top loop, and here on the back, we can see that we also have chains. We're also going to pick up the loop on the top. Here in the first chain, we insert the hook into the center and into the loop that's on the back, like this. In the center of the next chain, and back here in the loop. Look, it's the one that's right at the back. Here in the last chain, and look, here is the chain. We pass the needle through the center and through the loop that's at the back. Here we add height and make a single crochet. We go through the center of the next one, and in the strand that's in the back, we give it height and close the stitch. Here in the last chain, and look here where the strand is. We make a single crochet here. We add height. And here we finish the second round with 3 single crochets. Now we're going to start the third round. We insert the hook in the center of the next chain, and here in the back we can notice that we no longer have chains, but instead we have a strand. And in the back there are some ridges. We insert the hook in the center of the chain and under the ridge that's right in the back. In the center of the next one, and in the strand that's in the back. Here in the last stitch, this one hides a little. You need to push this strand back so you can see the whole chain. Insert in the center, and right behind is the strand. Look at it here. We make the first stitch here. Here the last one. We make a turning chain. We finish the third round, and this is how the piece looks. For the fourth round, we follow the same process. We go through the center of the chain and the back loop. We make a single crochet. Single crochet in the next one and in the back loop. Here in the last one. We add height. And now we start round number 5. I finished the round with 3 stitches, and this is how the handle is starting to look. Right now, you can't see it very well because it's still short. Let's keep working following the same pattern until we reach a height of 122 centimeters. I finished the length of the handle. Look how it looks. See how much the appearance of the stitch changes. You can see it much better now. Here, I worked a total of 248 stitches. How are you going to identify them? Each ridge is a round. On the front side, and when you turn it, here on the back side, each ridge is another round. So you should count the number you made on this side and repeat on this side again so you know how many rounds you've done in total. The handle measures 124 centimeters long and 3 centimeters wide. We position ourselves here at the last stitch. See that I have already cut the yarn here. We make a turning chain and we are going to close the round. Notice that there is a space here. We pass the needle under the chain. See that it's the whole chain and under the strand that's on the back side. We yarn over and make a single crochet. We go under the chain and under the strand that's in front. And we make a single crochet. Here, under the last one. We make a single crochet here. Pull the yarn out with the help of a needle. We're going to attach the clasps. We place it right here on top. We pass it through the clasp. And we're going to sew it. We pass the needle through the clasp again. And again, we pass it here in the same spot. There we repeat twice to make sure it's secure. We pass it again. Inside the clasp, and here we pass. Under the next chain stitch from back to front. Here under the last one. We pass it again through the carabiner. And back here, we tighten it very well. If you want, you can pass it through again so the carabiner is well secured. Down here, we pass the strand under the stitches. I finished hiding the leftover strand, and here on the other end of the handle, I also attached the lobster clasp. We fold the handle into 2 equal parts, so that both are the same size. We measure a distance of 8 centimeters here. We open it like this, and here you can join by sewing. I'm going to place this 4 centimeter diameter lobster clasp ring. I pass it here in the center of these 2 little humps. Here in the center of these 2. Here we already have the 2 handles separated. I'm going to give you the measurements. The length after the ring, including the carabiner as well. The handle ended up being 57 centimeters. Let's put the rings on the backpack so we can start placing the handles. We put it here on the edge after the first row, here. We place the next one here in the same row. Now we're going to place what will be the handle here. So we put this ring here in the center. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That means the center can be these 3. And finally, we're going to add this beautiful tassel. If you're new and don't know how to do it, in the video description, I left you the step-by-step instructions. Here, I added this detail. It's a button. Look. I attached it with the same material to give the tassel a nice finish. Now we have the bag ready. We finished the whole process. This would be the result. Look how pretty it is. Look at the stitches. Here is the stitching on the sides. And on this side, you can see the handles. Look at the detail of the clasp. It goes really well with the bag. You can also wear it this way with the sides out. See how it looks like a completely different and very spacious bag. Here you can attach the handle with the rings, and you have a bag you can carry hands-free. I'll give you the final measurements. The height is 31 centimeters. The width, 20 centimeters. The bag ended up weighing, without the hardware, 560 grams. That's the exact amount of cord we used for this project. We've reached the end of the class. Thank you for staying with me until now. I hope you enjoyed the whole process and that you put it into practice. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a sign of appreciation. See you in the next tutorial. God bless you. Bye.